This is Lenny Does IT, and today I'm going to go over the LSA types used in OSPF. Now, you might be wondering what LSAs are, and what they are is the building blocks of all the OSPF link state databases, the LSDB. Individually, LSAs act as a database record. In combination, they describe the entire topology of the OSPF network area. First one we're going to start off with is LSA1, which is the router LSA. This describes the link state of the router in that area. The floods are generally within a single area. Basically, packets are sent between two routers in the same area and do not leave the area. An OSPF router uses LSA Type 1 packets to describe its own interface, but also carries information about its neighbors to adjacent routers within the same area. You can see here on the left, I have the basic topology of this. Type 1 router LSA. For the Type 2 LSA, these are generated by designated routers, DRs, for the multi-access network. These are flooded within a single area. So the packets are generated by the designated router, and it describes all the routers connected to this segment directly. The LSA Type 2 packets are flooded between neighbors in the same area of origin and remain in that area. So you can see right here, Type 2 LSA, Type 2 network LSA. You have the switch in the middle. Moving on to Type 3, the summary LSA, as you can see here, now we have a multi-area OSPF topology. We have area 0 as the backbone in the middle, with area 1 on the left and area 2 on the right. So you start out with a Type 1 router LSA coming from area 1, and then Type 2 or Type 3 in both area 0 and area 2. For the summary LSA, it's used by the area border router to take information that is learned in one area and describe and summarize it for another area. So these packets are generated by the ABR, they're summarized, and then they're used with a summary prefix and flooded throughout multiple areas throughout the network to help with OSPF scalability and to use with summary prefixes. For the Type 4 LSAs, you can see our architecture is very similar to the Type 3 summary LSA, but for this one, it's the Autonomous System Border Router summary LSA. So as you can see here, we have the BGP router connected to our router in area 1. Then we have our area 1 and 0 router. Then we have our area 2 and 0 router. And then we have our area 2 router over here. So you can see there's a Type 1 LSA in the beginning, and then it goes to Type 4 summary ASBR router LSAs for area 0 and area 2. Basically, it informs the rest of the OSPF domain on how to reach the ASBR. Moving on to LSA number 5, we have our BGP router here, which is our default route to the internet. As you can see, we have LSA Type 5, Type 5, and Type 5 in all 3 of our areas now. What this is the packets are generated by the ASBR to advertise external redistributed routes into the OSPF's AS. A typical example of an LSA Type 5 would be an external prefix, such as 192.168.1.0/24, or the default route as shown in here. For LSA Type 6, this is used in multicast OSPF, so MOSPF applications. MOSPF has been deprecated since OSPF version 3 is not currently in use. This is not even supported by Cisco and expected to be retired soon. For the Type 7 LSA, which is NSSA, which stands for Not So Stubby Area, External LSA. These are used in special areas and not so stubby type areas. These advertise external routes in the NSSA. These packets are used for some special types and do not allow external distributed routes to go through and thus block LSA Type 5 packets from flooding them. And just to finish up here for our LSA Type 8, this gives information about a link local address plus a list of IPv6 addresses on the link. This is not supported by Cisco. Same with 9, 10, and 11. These are actually reserved for future use. So these are called opaque LSAs. Thank you for watching, and this has been Lenny Does IT.